All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Weekend Hot Podcast. It's your guy KZ back in here with y'all again for another weekend to talk and catch up on some of the news topics circulating right now. From our perspective, we got my man in here, Uncle Chewbacca. I thought he said something else at first. Hell nah. My man CT. What's going on, fellas?
Not
What's
much,
good,
man. How
man?
y'all doing, man?
Right, all right. Yeah, man. It's been a hell of a week, man. A lot of things going on in the news. Definitely trying to keep up with some of the news articles and crazy stuff in the news. Definitely. There was one thing that came up that was with the company Apple this week. And I just want to know what y'all think about this. Um, it's basically Apple. And a lot of these big tech companies, you notice they've been having a lot of racial suits and stuff like that. Tesla had that big suit where the guy that remember the brother won like 115 million, 120 million. But then
Mm-hmm.
the judge, the racist judge said, no, that's too much. And he rolled that back to 15 million. So the brother won 125 million or 130 million. It was something ridiculous like that from Tesla because of a racial discrimination suit. Basically, they was calling him all kind of N words at work and stuff like that. And then they would, they was just speaking N word like it was a fluent language, and they do a lot of things. And they checked in with what he said, and it was factual. And so he won 100 like 25, 130 million. But then, like I said, we covered the story before. Then the racist judge said, I'm going to override the sentence. And I think that's too much. He shouldn't get that much. So we're just going to give him, I'll award him 15 million.
Mm-hmm.
So these tech companies, you know what I'm saying, have been doing all kind of stuff. So now Apple, another tech company, they got something going on right here, man. So basically, I don't know about this, but we'll see though. Apple staff, they claim that Apple forcing them back to the office because with everything with COVID is pretty much dying
Oh,
down.
but work from home.
Right, they're claiming that Apple staff, they're claiming they're forcing them back to the office is racist. They say so basically a group of employees have discussed the big tech giant of basically accused them of racism over the push for corporate workers to return back to the office, saying that the shift back to an in-person model will make the companies younger, whiter, and more male dominated. So the employees organized under the newly formed group Apple Together. They petitioned the company on Friday in an open letter to the CEO Tim Cook. They told basically staffers that they would need to basically work from home, uh, because one day, basically, I guess they're gonna start going back to work. Well, they already back at work, I think, or they already. I think it's between April 11th and May 23rd. It says they got to get back in the office. So basically, uh, the decision to bring the workers back in this work group, they feel like that's discriminatory because they said all Apple will likely always find people willing to work at the company, but that the makeup of the company is going to be different once you got to be face to face. It said it will lead to privileges, deciding who can work for Apple, not based on the best fit, but it more based on what you look like. So, like privilege is like being born in the right place so that you don't have to relocate, being young enough to start a new life in a new city, country, or having a stay-at-home spouse who will move with you. And privileges like being born into a gender that society doesn't expect the majority of care work from. So it's easy to disappear in an office all day without doing your fair share unpaid work in society. So basically, this group is saying that that's going to be unfair advantage. Like, once everybody go back to the office, it's like, oh, I'm a hire John over Rashid, or I'm a hire, you know what I'm saying? So what do y'all think about that?
Hmm. Well, in my opinion, it really, I don't think it's going to make a difference. I mean, I feel like if those same people are there at home, it's going to be the same people coming back. I mean, they're always selective on who they're gonna hire from the beginning, and we already know who mostly makes up the tech industry. So it's not going to really change too much. I feel like it's just a lot of people that's bothered that don't want to actually return back to the office for personal reasons. So that's their excuse, and actually just probably more for a monetary
Hell
part for the
yeah.
company because
Hire
they
these
build all
gas
these big
in.
campuses. Like you think
Hell
about
yeah.
it,
Right.
oh no, say you think about it, you spend billions of dollars on these tech campuses, and you want people in them motherfuckers. You don't want them chilling at home and stuff like that. You bring your ass to work. That's what it is.
Okay, now I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna be a devil's advocate. I want you to go. I want to go to you, Wayne. I'm gonna jump in now. He says that bring your from the corporate side. Yeah, we spent all this money on this big campus. Bring your ass to work, right? But on the other side of things, what do you say to the employees who don't work from home? Who who say basically they might have the credentials. Like you said, you have to be credentialed to work at Apple. Let's say they got all the credentials, but they ain't got the look, or they ain't got the right skin color. So let's say they interview, basically a lot of these companies, when they've been interviewed on, work from home, you just basically got to type some stuff and send some stuff in and they send it back. A lot of them do virtual interviews. So a lot of times they don't know what you look like. You know what I'm saying? So you could actually get the job and not, they may not know your ethnicity or only one or two people have seen you and you may be able to excel where if you're in an office setting, everybody sees you. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, well, we don't want to hire him or promote him because of this. Now, if you're working from home, and let's say you're in like a think tank or you're on Microsoft Teams, you don't have to put your picture on there. And I've worked, you know what I'm saying, in, those kind of fashions. And I've noticed when I had my picture up in those kind of settings, I'm being real. I feel like my work was, more disproved or more oh, we can't approve this, go back and do it again, we can't. Now when I took my picture down or just submitting my stuff with my name, approve. So you know what I'm saying. Now we were in the
we need to go over this again.
Exactly. I mean,
That's a cute suggestion, Jamal.
Right. And so with my name, you know what I'm saying, it's not it's not a normal name that you would think that I was black, you know what I'm saying, if you've seen it. So I just noticed. So, and when I did it, I said, I want to see if my stuff get approved more now. But some of them remember from when my picture was on there who I am, but in a lot of the new ones, they don't. So they'll go, oh, approve. So what do you say to those people when Uncle Chew, Barker in the house? What do you say to those people who say, well, that's fine on the dandy, but I notice a difference when I can see it not. So I'm in the office or I'm at home. What do you think?
Well, when you can work in anonymity and it lets you get some shit off, that's cool. But I've always worked from the office. I was laid off a little bit, but I never worked from home. I want to see what that'd be like because honestly, just the savings on gas alone would be enough for me to do it. You know what I'm saying? To work from home. I mean, it probably would get boring and nerve wracking, but just not having to drive to work, that's like raises your wage like $2.50 an hour or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, man. I like a job at Apple.
Well, that's the thing that comes up. It's like they don't care where you're going to commute from. So I can understand those people that do have the jobs and are working remotely. They're like taking advantage of that income and living in a place where the quality of living is a little bit lower or better for them, and having a higher income and versus traveling probably all the way to San Francisco and commuting back and forth. Because I know people that actually do that because who the hell can afford to live in San Francisco?
Right.
Right. And now here we have Apple TV. So a lot of those people, they had to come in the office anyway. So I don't know. It's it's a 50-50 chance that you can get hired, and hopefully race isn't part of it, but
Well,
it'll be mostly
I
your job
mean,
skill. But we'll see.
yeah, like with the name I have, you know what I'm saying, on paper, I know at least 90% of the time I go in, they expect somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Michael Scott. They think in the office of Steve Carell and shit.
They see your big green mile looking ass come through the door. Damn. Ted, we
like, hell yeah, nigga. I'm going
into
into interviews where a motherfucker sees me and is already crestfallen before the interview starts. And then I go into my thing and then they say, oh, okay. But yeah, it's kind of jarring most of the time when they expect Michael Scott to come in there for the paper company and I'm not that guy.
Yeah. That's deep. It is deep though. Yeah, I think it's something. I think it's they got something to look at or question. I mean, I don't think it's just a bogus claim by this. Like I said, this is a group of Apple employees who already work. And I'm assuming they pretty much the diverse or diversity group.
Yeah.
Something in the company, the inclusion group. So that is something interesting to look at. I mean, I think like you said, anonymity, when you can do stuff like that, people really can't really judge you off anything but your work. And if you're producing, and actually there were studies, there were some studies that they did a study on that, and they found that when workers were able to do, or I should say, Black workers, Foundation of Black American workers, were able to work like that in the work from home setting, they excelled, because there was nothing really. You just got to judge me on my work, you know what I'm saying? But it depended on the name, though. That was one of the asterisks in the poll. It depended on the name, you know what I'm saying? It's still, because that name can give you away still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like my name is Octavius Burwell and shit.
Right. But yeah, that's interesting. Now, Roland, keeping on with the theme of tech companies, we're gonna go right to this. I know y'all fellas heard about this in the news this week. Your boy Elon Musk, he basically bought Twitter this week, and for some, basically he bought it for the sum of $44 billion. He purchased Twitter, but now this is the thing though. A lot of people are asking, what is the future of Black Twitter under Elon Musk? It's because with him purchasing Twitter for $44 billion, some people may feel like that may cause problems for the platform's Black community, and then the Warrens, so this is a person who's on Black Twitter. She's a Northeastern professor, Meredith Clark. She says, a lot of concerns to come in there. So she says, I have to think about how this place may shift under the ownership of someone who is the son of an apartheid billionaire who alleges that he's concerned about free speech, but he spews a definition of free speech that is not at all in line with either the legal precepts that we understand or is practiced in the United States, says Clark. She's the author of an upcoming book. We tried to tell y'all, Black Twitter and the Rise of Digital Counter Narratives. So what do you fellas think about what you've been hearing this week with him purchasing? And like I said, Elon Musk is a son of an apartheid billionaire. You know what I'm saying? So how he got his paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know, like the free speech stuff they talking pretty much. I was kind of loosely assuming that we gonna get to hear what Putin got to say about everything, shit like that. And then as far as free speech, if it's across the board, it'll be cool, toward Black Twitter, but you know what I'm saying? You never know because free speech, now that he owns it and he's taking it private, this is free speech according to what Elon says. So, he gets to move the goalpost being the owner. He can take his game and go home and shit. But, hope for the best, plan for the worst. You know how we do.
Man, this dude, he's really unpredictable. So, I mean, be honest with you, I don't know what to expect from him. I know a lot of people that will probably ban off that shit was probably gonna come back. And
Yeah, like Trump, he already gave Alex Jones this shit back, right?
Yeah, I think is that the guy
That motherfucker that would be yelling and shit,
who
sweating.
said the racist dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the dude. Oh my goodness, I think I know who you're talking about. I think is he about to serve it up. I think he's on the
Yeah.
way to serve it up. He they were saying that Trump was gonna get his back, but Trump said he don't want his back because he got his own social net platform, the Truth Network, I think it's called.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so he said he ain't going back to Twitter. He cool on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. But
Yeah, you're looking out though, but
right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't feel like it's nothing wrong with free speech, but the thing that we got to pretty much worry about is the narrative. So you already know now anything coming from Twitter, you pretty much can't. Well, you can't really, if it's not like I would say the grassroots, like black media, like us, Tariq Nasheed, all the basically Zoe and all these people, you know what I'm saying, and even not even putting us up with that caliber. I would say, we coming up to that caliber. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get to that caliber.
We
But I'm
punching up.
Right, I'm saying that you really can't. Anything you hear from Twitter, you can't really. You have to really investigate it because anybody could, now the floodgates are gonna be open. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's okay, free speech, but at the same time, it's like now that he owns Twitter, he can basically force certain narratives if he wanted to. You feel me?
Yeah, or allow everybody to hear some shit because like say shit like let's say Putin has to say something, and he probably be over there on TV everywhere getting this shit off, but we can't see that here. Now he might lower that scrim so that shit can punch through until your algorithm punches it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yeah, he also like I said. One thing we always got to watch that this narratives from the dominant society or mainstream media. So now think about it. Now with him controlling it, it's like like if I was to think about it, if you think about him, like damn, I want to control just like with Rudolph, was it Murdoch, the guy who owns what is that, the New York Times?
Rupert.
Right, Rupert. Yeah, just like him, he was doing the same thing. Like if I want certain narratives or if I'm aligned with certain parties, I can make certain narratives go through because I own the machine. So you have to. We just have to be, what I'm saying, cognizant of that as well. But I don't think it's like, what I'm saying, bring it on. You know what I'm saying? The people are gonna be on the platform. I mean, it's a bunch of platforms out here. And we just did a story on. Remember the brother who did his own app for a new black platform. So it's platforms out here for us.
He said on the lower side of the game.
You know what I'm saying? If you really ain't got to be no, damn Twitter. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You really can't. I mean, I don't think it's really nothing that's gonna change too much, but I think you're just gonna see more. You're gonna hear more like rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? That's coming through that probably wouldn't came through before. But I don't really think it's gonna change nothing as far as like if you already know what's going on or you pretty much know what's like, yeah, white supremacy. They're gonna push some white supremacist narratives and shit like that. I already know that. So, I mean, ain't really gonna nothing change. You still gotta dissect everything like you would any, with anything. But yeah, it is interesting that he did cough up that 44 billion and say, you know what, I'm just gonna buy y'all.
Hey, yeah, but then I hear that he's taking it private, and then he don't even have to answer to a board. Then
yeah,
to the shareholders.
Well, he's a businessman, and I don't know. He might even take it to a whole direction. He might even turn it into like Facebook and like how he, not meaning with that type of perspective where with the public and but I mean like having a network.
That's the plan.
Yeah,
but see like, the plan is he's a Frankenstein. He's Mr. Frankenstein. See, you hit it on the head. See, but the thing is, remember, he's trying to link Twitter. Well, a lot of people believe he's trying to link Twitter with that Neuralink shit he has. Remember the brain shit where you're supposed to be. He want to put the things in your brain where you could just think and then call somebody and all that. He's gonna try to. A lot of people are saying he's gonna try to link that Neuralink thing to Twitter. Where you can your thoughts, you can instead of typing something, you can just think things because you got a chip in your head and it'll pop up on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So And that's not that's not like a tinfoil koofy type of, thought or nothing like that. That's real stuff that Elon Musk does. Like this dude has been developing that Neuralink thing for a minute. I don't know if y'all are aware of it, but where you actually put a chip, get surgery and have a chip put in your brain. You know what I'm saying? And then instead, like the movies, like you get a call, you're like, oh, hey, what's up, man? You talking in the air and. But think about it. If you got a chip in your brain, he can also send something to your brain and kill your ass too if you want to.
Yeah, man. They had
you know what I'm saying?
like that on HBO one time where people had them implants put in.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what they said he doing.
Movie like that.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man. But yeah, I think he is somebody to definitely keep an eye on. You know what I'm saying? But on to sports news. Your girl is back in the news.
Yeah, man. Brittany Griner. So now they have a petition started after the hold on. Less computer. Okay, anyway, so Brittany Griner is being detained over in Russia. The U.S. Embassy recently traded imprisoned Marine for a Russian drug lord. Like they just did a SWIFT swap. And so now, that has caused some people to get a petition going. And this computer's doing too much.
Damn, so you said they trying to do a flip flop. They want like, okay, why Brittany ain't getting? Well, I'm sorry, y'all. Why Brittany ain't getting? The flip the same because the dude, the same thing.
Yeah. Now they have a petition to just release her because they, trading people like they trading arms, and she's sitting there, incarcerated probably from a Trump charge anyway.
Right.
Yeah, they ain't about to trade her out. I'm sorry. Her ass stuck for a while. Cause that dude, he was sitting there since like maybe 2019, I believe.
Yeah, he was there for a minute.
Yeah.
So she ain't leaving. Well, I think it's one more person ahead.
Yeah, I mean her date is supposed to be like mid to late May anyways, before her stuff comes up anyway. But after they just did a frivolous SWIFT swap for somebody. Oh, it's May 19th.
I mean, damn, look at her. She can handle that though. She probably in there running that.
No, I'm playing. I mean, look. I mean, on some real. Who gonna boss up on her in the women's prison, man? She tall as hell. She'll put that 2-piece on. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got to worry about nobody.
She ain't gonna be whooping too many grown men.
Yeah. I mean, I bet you it might be a couple of Olympic-sized women in there who look like they could be in the damn competition. But I'm saying, I bet you Brittany, she in there running the prison right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Go get me some cigarettes. Some girl magazine.
But no, man, for real. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, we don't want to see nobody like that. I hope the sister hurry up and, get home. I don't agree, with all the other stuff, but just like, damn, they got her locked down. So I at least hope she get back, you know what I'm saying, on some real stuff. Hope she get on back to the other side over here. But yeah, man, she should be good. I don't feel like like unless like you said, the male guards messing with her and stuff, then I feel like for her safety. But if she just got to worry about the female inmate, she good. She ain't about, man, what? Bop bop. She good. I think she could take care of herself up in there.
Oh yeah, she in there holding that shit down, man.
So
almost said some shit to give me canceled.
Bring me some lotion. God damn it.
Oh man. Bring me some lotion.
Yeah, I'm going to buy this game.
Hell no. Probably in there eating some flaming hots right now, chilling. But
drinking flaming hot Mountain Dew in that motherfucker.
In a honey bun. You know what I'm saying? Got the honey bun.
Honey bun.
Yeah. Yeah, like she in that motherfucker like a resort and shit. Massage my feet. Attendant.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got to pay no
I
child
hope
support.
so, man.
Yeah, that
You know,
motherfucker gets education and shit. All the free child she want.
Getting tats up in that bitch and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Leaned over a chair and shit. Her back tattoo. Hurry up, shit. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. All right, moving right along in sports, man. Ooh, who is that?
Oh yes, that is Chelsea Lucas. She's the new volleyball coach at Grambling State University. She just recently cut the old squad, but these guys have attention, and they already have like 2,500 signatures to, number one, get her out of there, and number two, get the 19 women whose scholarships he had revoked, get them back, because apparently it's a number of students from her old school, which is it's like Southwest Arkansas or something like that. I forget. I'm looking for it. My computer got cancer. Yeah. Anyway, there's quite a few of her previous players from her old job in a transfer portal, and so there's like, this is a conspiracy. And then they said that she only held like 3 team practices, and most of that was just them doing like punishment type laps, running and shit.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
Hell nah.
But she looked like she ready to start in that new Barbie movie they working on, ain't it?
Yes.
She looked like she was Parker's in this motherfucker.
So she became Grambling's female volleyball coach, and she fired the whole staff that was there.
No, okay, so it was 19 scholarship students, right? Mm-hmm. And she went and cut them all, gutted them out. Okay, so this old school she worked with is Arkansas Pine Bluff. So then she got hired there, and apparently there's a number of Arkansas Pine Bluff former students in the transfer portal. But yeah, she got to Grambling and pretty much rooted out the entire team, canceled all 19 scholarships, and I don't know if they had any walk-ons or not.
So that's probably not up to par. So she had to get him up out of there. I didn't even know Grandma had a volleyball team.
Man, I mean, but damn, I mean, I'm just saying, it was that. I mean, like the team was that sorry. She had to fight. She had to get rid of all. So she got
she bringing her other girls to
Grambling from Arkansas. She bringing her squad down from
Porter.
But that's kind of. Can she do that? Ain't that against NCAA?
No, that's why they got a live petition with over 2,500 signatures ready to get her ass the fuck up out of there. But I don't know how effective that's going to be. But
I mean, I've heard of coaches transferring, and then you'll see like 1 or 2 athletes transfer from the old school, like usually the top athletes, as the coach, and they move to the. But the whole squad, come on, man.
19.
Come on. The whole damn squad.
And then again, that team might be disgraceful. Who knows?
Damn. I mean, I went there, man. I don't know how good
our team. I don't know how we're gonna give you that money.
See what you think. How good was our volleyball?
I've seen the young ladies a few times, but I mean, like it really didn't. I really wasn't into volleyball like how I am now, but I know the team was there, and I mean, if they wasn't that good,
that's kind of.
I with the old and with the new. Hey, you got to be a shaker.
Hey, Chris Ham was on that tough conversation, and he's like, "Oh no."
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's bad though. I think that's. I don't think you should do that. You don't. I mean. I could see if you came in as a coach and you fired the old coaching staff. But usually, even when you do that, usually you'll keep like one person or two person from the old staff. But it's not uncommon to say, hey, I want my staff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with a staff that was already here before me. You know what I'm saying? And I want to bring a couple players in from my old program with me that already know my system. So that way, the other players can adapt quicker, or they can learn quicker because these players already been playing for me and they know my system. So that's cool to do. But damn, when you say, you know what? Not only my top players, even my sorry ass players on the bench. Everybody look.
Yeah.
We just hey, all of us, we go on to Grambling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of like the way it reads is like, you know what? It's a better paying job at Grambling. I'm just gonna take my demonstration here and move it over to Grambling. Fire all them bitches, then bring my whole squad, even from the bench, the 12 man or the 19th man, all the way to the starters.
The water boy,
yeah.
I can see your point because out of the black colleges, Grambling is in the top 10 of the well-known colleges, so you have a better platform and
bigger budget to work with.
Yeah,
that is true. You definitely have, more notoriety or whatever. But she's definitely cutthroat. I would say if you play for it, you better be on, you know what I'm saying, your P's and Q's.
Hell yeah, she got half of four of Whitaker eye in that motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let your that GPA slip one half of you know what I'm saying? You be like, hey, you know what? Coach want to see you. Come to the office.
You're like, oh, I done did it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, coach want to see me? What? You know what I'm saying? Hell no. Nah. Man, moving right along. We're gonna jump into actually we're gonna jump right into this was the anniversary of the LA riots and NC.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let y'all know about that since he in LA.
West, y'all.
Now, as many of y'all know, this is the 30th anniversary of the Los Angeles riots. Right around this time, like, everything was on fire. Everybody was looting. Everybody was just pretty much upset about the motorist Rodney King, rest in peace, brother, for the verdict for it. Pretty much saying that don't believe what you're actually seeing. These guys are guilty and this man deserved to get beat. And everybody wasn't feeling that. So this was the repercussions of what happened. And it was a scary time out here, like when that was going on. And so this is the 30th anniversary of what happened around this time frame. It was probably over 1,000 buildings burning, and I lived right in the middle of it, so that it was scary. Like, you can hear all the gunshots, you can see all the electricity and stuff getting shot down, all the buildings on fire, and this is 30 years ago, right? So now those places are still, most of these lots are still vacant from that time frame. How crazy is that? Weeds growing in there, everything, and just like a lot of businesses shut down and just left the area. They didn't want to invest in that community anymore because they was afraid that would happen again. It did happen, but goddamn.
Yeah. Like, these cops ain't gonna get these.
It wasn't, but we got smarter though with that. We stopped burning down our stuff in our own neighborhood. So that's what came out of that. It was a lesson learned. We ain't fucking with our own shit. Excuse my language, y'all, but we're not.
They went to Beverly Hills this time, like
learned a lesson.
On real deal.
But the commemorative day was just celebrated with lots of concerts and people coming together, and a lot of people that you saw like during the gang truce or doing the unity walks and stuff like that. They were all together posting pictures online, and half of those people are gone, but it's gangbanging, but still, still showing the unity of the community and trying to get stuff together and really pushing the narrative of buying your community back, which is what people like Nipsey Hussle, who grew up in that area, was trying to do. And others like him are continuing to keep doing. And that was Magic Johnson's whole narrative when he was out here buying the community back, investing in the community, and just really cleaning that all up. And he was a primal person, Magic Johnson, after the whole riots, was like really getting stuff together. That's why he's such an icon in LA. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, but
Yeah,
on
he's
the low
definitely
end,
LA's favorite son.
yeah, he's LA's favorite son because of that, because he built back to the community. I'm not sure how you guys, how did the riots affect y'all around 30 years ago?
Man, I'm telling you, man, when the video comes out to something this drastic, you know, a different eye watches over it. Kind of like the Ray Rice thing, you know, because, you know, Ray Rice cooperated that whole time. And then, you know, once the video came out, they had to do it. But yeah, man, I mean, it was symbolically, it was like for us, like the Watts Rise was for our parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, you know, that shit stopped everything. It's like I can remember where I was when I seen that, you know, that tape of Rodney King getting his ass beat by the cops, and then Reginald Denny getting beat by the neighborhood. You know, I can just remember how jarring that shit was. You know, and then it was crazy. I was glad I wasn't out there, but it didn't even click that you was growing up out there. How was that shit for you, man? Like, was y'all all in bed?
it was scary because, you know, like I was like maybe in 8th grade just watching all this go down, and it's like, oh, don't go outside, don't go outside. And it's like you see everything on fire, you don't have any electricity. Like we didn't have electricity for days. And it's like nobody was going out to even try to fix that because they didn't want to get shot. And even, like all the local gang members just took over the whole area.
So did the shit subside during the day, or did they only come out at night, or what?
Oh, that shit was 24/7. That shit, it got worse at night and it was worse during the day.
Damn.
Yeah.
And if you was light skinned, then they thought you was white. They was going after you. They didn't care.
If you were passing,
Because my mom was very fair skinned, and they was going at her. They was throwing rocks at her car. So she was like, "Let me get my ass in the house."
Damn.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. Like, you know, it's crazy. I remember it happened. I remember the energy. Like, no, it was like I was seeing it, like the video. We were seeing the video. You know, everybody looking at the TV, seeing the video of Rodney King and whoop. And then I remember seeing the tape. I remember seeing the video of the smoke, you know, showing the city of LA on fire. But you know what else I felt? We could feel the energy. Like when that shit was on TV, I seen motherfuckers in my neighborhood, excuse my language, I see people in my neighborhood go too. Like they was gonna do something. Like it was like an energy, like it's like you could feel an energy like man, we ain't about to take this. Even though we not down there in LA, we ain't about to take it around here. You know what I'm saying? Right. We ready to do something too. We ready to ride with y'all. You know what I'm saying? We ready to tear this mug up too. You know what I'm saying? That was the energy that I was feeling at that time, even as a young kid, where however old we was at that time, I don't remember, but I just remember feeling like, damn, like this is serious. You can feel that, like, damn, this shit's serious. People, you know, it like, damn, is this really happening? So, and then after that, did Menace Society come out before? That came out after the riots, didn't it?
Yeah, that came out after.
Then after the riots coming down, like visiting LA after around the time, because I was down there when Menace Society came out. You know, I got to see it in LA when it came out, and I remember that same energy. It was kind of like a energy of LA, like man, you know, police ain't. I don't think y'all should mess with these people out here, man. It's going down. You know what I'm saying? Like you could feel that powerful energy of the people. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's the thing that stood out for me. Like the people standing up, right. And the people saying, you know, hey, we ain't rocking with it. Y'all ain't just about to come whip our people ass, and we ain't gonna do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all gonna let them get off. You know, and then I remember that chief of police, that racist chief of police,
Daryl Gates.
Yeah, man. Yep.
boy, this dude. So I just remember seeing that on TV as a kid, this dude, and I already knew. I was like, yeah, he he ain't about the right man. But I'm just surprised. You know what? I actually forgot that Rodney King had passed away, man.
That was fairly recently, like
that was fairly
5 years.
Wasn't it? Yeah, because I'm like, oh, that's right, man. Well, yeah, but I'm glad everybody made it, everybody but like you said, of course at that time with the corruption in the LA police department, and the racism in the LA police department, there's unpure, and it's still going on, don't get me wrong, but at that time, this is before social media and things like that, what I'm saying, there, the outlets to get that kind of information out, could be basically detrimental to your health. And you've seen where reporters have died, trying to get information out against the LAPD, and in all kind of, even in the Biggie case. What I'm saying?
Hey, I always feel like them, dropping the ball on the verdict in this case always had me feeling like that's how O.J. Simpson got off.
Yeah,
because like a makeup call, more or less.
Yeah. I think well, you know what? I don't necessarily think that's why I personally think I don't think OJ did it, because think about it. At that time, they was trying to get that motherfucker. They wanted LJ ass. At that time in that case, they wanted him to go down. So the fact that he go down, I'm just saying, they even remember all those incidents with Daryl Gates in the case, all those, I'm just saying that as bad as they wanted him to go down, it wasn't like they didn't want him to go down. So as bad as they wanted him to go down, and he didn't go down, that kind of leads me to believe that maybe he probably didn't do what he did, because if they really wanted him to go down, to me in my head, he would have went down. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Johnny Cochran was that good. You know what I'm saying? Of a lawyer. Johnny Cochran is the Jordan of lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Johnny Cochran is Jordan. He could get you off. But I'm saying though, with the stuff they could prove and they couldn't prove, and think about it, Marsha Clark was going hard to get OJ. Come on now. She was going. Christopher Darden, they was going in. Shapiro, all these people. Man, I'm just saying that even because Shapiro was on OJ's team, right?
Yeah.
But think about this. Shapiro was on OJ's team, but he kind of was feeling like OJ did it, and him and Johnny Cochran had a little clash under the heads and stuff like that. I'm just thinking
because Kardashian even had left the case because the way he felt about the shit.
Right. So I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. There's so many variables there that, we don't know if the dude got a fit, or I don't know. But all I know is,
that era was just kind of getting back on their feet after the riots back in '95.
Yeah.
Look, see, what that lets me know that they want him bad is the witch hunt they did after the fact. If he got off, and they tried to find any way to get OJ ass, and they got him stealing his own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Of all things,
where they was invented and shit.
That's what I'm saying. They wanted. That's what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know, man. That's one of those cases in American history that'll just go down. People go look at it from this way, that way. I'm just looking at it. I'm looking at it from a way of, in the system of, the dominant society, white supremacy, and how bad they wanted OJ ass, because they wanted his ass bad. I remember, we was all living at the time. I remember being in the lunchroom of high school, and whenever they came in, that he was guilty, all the black kids say, yeah! And then all the white kids said, I remember that. I remember that shit like yesterday. That's messed up, but I ain't gonna lie, they did that. I remember all the black, we was all, because it wasn't that many of us at the damn school. We all, yeah. And then I remember all the black, So everybody wanted his ass, you know what I'm saying, for that shit.
Yeah.
And he got off. Like I said, Johnny Cochran is that dude. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean,
hey man, what freaks me out about the most to this day with the OJ case was when we was watching the fucking Houston Rockets and the fucking Knicks play when they cut in with that chase. Remember?
Oh yeah, I do remember that. It was during the playoffs.
Hell yeah! And I remember I was over one of my friend's house, and my friend was white, and then the shit was playing, but I was over that shit because I knew what it was about, and I ain't want to get caught up in emotion, on the road, over somebody else's house. And then it's like the Knicks just took the lead in the background, like yeah. And I remember he looked at me like, "Are you fucking serious?"
I mean, because see, like you said, go ahead, see, but you know how it was the first time that people had seen, or black people had seen, somebody that was black get off for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like shit.
Episode where the perp gets away and shit.
Right. So
and it was also
we didn't
televised on TV. Like, you got to see every aspect, just like with the case for Rodney King. So they knew if something negative happened, it might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They didn't want a repeat situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, if he would have went, I think it would have been going down. It would have been going down.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, like they made a makeup call with that one.
Hey, you have to think about how people felt about O.J. Simpson in L.A. Like how, I mean, he wasn't like Magic, but I mean, like he came up.
Loved.
Yeah, he was that USC connection. It was like, oh yeah, he was great, and yeah, it probably would have been some ruckus going on.
And that's the power and that's the strength I love about our people, is that because remember OJ was kind of straight. He was kind of cool at the time. I'm not black, I'm OJ. He was cool. But even though and it's like we knew he was doing that, but even though he was one of ours, so we was like, okay, we still gonna support him, even though what I'm saying, he ain't been right, OJ. You saying some crazy stuff, but we still gonna support you because he one of ours. And that's the beauty of now you don't see OJ out there doing too much of the all that coolness. I mean, he in the kind of in the shadows now, stuff like that.
Hey man, he kind of working his hand on. He on Twitter doing his thing as far as like his little
black free speech.
Yeah, I mean, let him do his thing. Go ahead, OJ. Shout out to the OJ out there. But yeah, see, the LA riots, man, definitely a pivotal point in American history. You know what I'm saying? As far as the people, man. That's just the people's reaction to things, and like I said, we're going to continue our support push for reparations for Foundation of Black Americans in the form of cash payments. We're gonna keep doing that. I mean, I'm not saying we're gonna riot and do like the LA riots and stuff. We don't get it, but I think I love the movement we're doing. We educating each other on things. We're pushing it. We're now starting to get candidates who are speaking about our platform, starting with a Black First agenda. Because a lot of times, we get candidates in and they don't, do nothing for us. It's like they want it to be a trickle down thing. Well, I'll do something for everybody, but see, a lift all, like you say, a lift all program doesn't lift us. When it lifts everybody up, and we still on the bottom. So that trickle down effect thing really doesn't work now. And then other groups, they have agendas and they get money, and I mean, Ukrainians, they getting a total of $65 billion sent to them. They ain't even Americans. So, I mean, it's just, one of those things we got to do and, pay what is owed, to the ancestors, because they were the wealth and stock of this country. We were the actual stock people, human beings. So, and a lot of people forget. They want to say forget, just get over slavery. Well, these people were, think about it, how people was treated, inhumanely. I mean, your family, you pulled away from your mother, your sister, your cousin, you don't know where you at. People just trading you, raping you, beating you, and you're not getting no pay, and you working yourself. The people died working themselves to death. You know what I'm saying? So there's obviously a debt owed, and a lot of the institutions that are still around today that benefited off that wealth are still around. A lot of the banks, J.P. Morgan, Chase, a lot of the different, what I'm saying, financial institutions benefited. And then you got to also think about not only that, you got to think about the time, all the inventions we created that we couldn't get patents for. Like Alexander Graham Bell took, I invented the light bulb. No, you didn't. Lewis Latimer invented the light bulb. He just couldn't get a patent for it because he's black.
Yeah. He made the filament in the light bulb.
You know what I'm saying? Well, he actually made more than the filament. Because think about it. If you know anything about light bulbs, if you made the filament, I mean, you pretty much made the light. I mean, there's no question that you probably made the rest of the damn light bulb if you made.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, he Alexander Graham Bell was doing what they said Dr. Dre used to do the gas. Hey, remember they used to say like he'll put his name on the dance and make the beat. He'll put his name on it. So that's what I'm just joking. But no, people know if you grew up in the '90s. Remember we used to hear that like, oh man. Yeah. Dre made that beat, but really Dad's the one who actually. So it's the same thing, man. So we got to get. It's just not only just slavery; it's other things that could have made. Think about Lewis Latimer's family. That if he would have been able to patent the light bulb, think about how rich and wealthy we would be talking about the Latimers, wouldn't we? We'd be talking about them like they were the Rockefellers or anybody else, wouldn't we? You know what I'm saying? I'm being serious. You know what I'm saying? So that wealth was stolen. You know what I'm saying? So that has to be replenished and paid back. You know what I'm saying? And also land. You know what I'm saying? Look, they did this how they did Black Tulsa. Hey, you Negroes, get over there. Fuck y'all. Don't come over here. So they left us alone over there. Then they started seeing big cars and Rolls Royces and wait a minute, what y'all got going on over there? Oh hell no, we got to bury this bitch down. They came and burnt it down. You know what I'm saying? They took it away from us. We was thriving. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pay that back, man. Come on, man. Everybody know that. So, because you just got to think, even if you not a foundation, you got to think of it terms like this. If any person living in their house today, if you were just dragged out your house, your whole family, they took your wife, they took your kids, and they sent them here and there to work. For no way, it'd be up in arms. You'll be like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, something's got to be paid. And they can't be like, I don't want, I understand the gesture. And people say, well, maybe scholarships and stuff. Well, you can't do that because that's not what was stolen. Scholarships wasn't stolen. It was money. It was wealth. It was property, land, inventions, things that generated money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that should be a problem to get paid back. I don't, of course, the free tuition and all that is cool, but if we get the money, we can afford tuition. You know what I'm saying? So the new figure actually for the reparations that said that every black family is actually owed between $1 million and $5 million. For it's gone up. It was 1 million, now it's going to $5 million actually from the effects of slavery, because it's a lot of things they're taking into account. The wealth that was stolen, the opportunities that was stolen, you know what I'm saying? The land that was stolen. So, I mean, and in the law, and these were all under federal laws. These were laws set up by the United States. Let me ask you a question, though.
Because I hear you said household or individual.
Now this figure I saw, I think I wanted to say it said household. Ooh, I don't. Now remember, there's no definite on what it is. So you see different people say what they think it should be or whatever. Now, me personally, I think it should be per person. I think it might even say it per person. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. It might have said per person. So I think should be a per person thing. But if it goes to per household, I don't think you can do per household. Now that I think about it, I think
I was going to say that's scary. That's going to be some black on black.
And you know what? And you know what? That's why it has to be. That's why we say it has to be based on lineage. It can't just be hey, if you black, you get reparations. No, your people went over here to 1980, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We over here too. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a claim. I mean, they still have a claim. It's just not with the U.S. It's with Britain and and everything. So I just think that
it was in Portugal.
Yeah, I mean they got this thing called I heard Brother Three talk about called CARICOM, and CARICOM is a thing. It's some kind of like reparations thing they have for people from the Caribbean and the Africa, and against Britain, right? And we're not included in that, and we shouldn't be, because we wasn't over there in Jamaica or whatever. So y'all should get y'all money. So that's what we doing over here. You know what I'm saying? We just try to get our money from the federal government. And I think we're making big strides, definitely since the riots, of course, you know what I'm saying? But moving right along, man, another news article that came out this week. There was another thing. We got to protect the kids, y'all. We got to protect the kids out there. There was a teacher in Rochester, New York. Basically, Rochester school officials are investigating allegations that a white teacher told his class of mostly black students to pick seeds out of the cotton and put on handcuffs during the lessons on slavery in the 7th grade social studies class. One of the students says it made her feel bad to be a black person. The teacher has been put on leave while the school system investigates allegations that came to light after an appalled parent posted on Facebook that her daughter was confronted with a cotton picking lesson. So what do y'all think about that? Another one, man. So your kid at school, then all of a sudden the teacher like, hey, here's some cotton. Go pick some cotton. Put these handcuffs on. I'm gonna teach you guys about slavery.
These off the cotton. God damn.
Now think about it. He's just on leave. He ain't get fired. He's just on leave.
Yeah, probably with pay.
Oh yeah, because they got to investigate the allegation. But what do you guys think about? How would you feel as a parent if your son or daughter came home, was like, my teacher gave because they only found out about it from a parent, because I guess the child came home and told the parent like, we had to do this today in class, So what if you came home, your child was like, hey, what you doing today in history? Oh man, they made us pick cotton and put handcuffs on.
Hey, like I'm one of the old school type parents that will listen to the teacher, to a certain point first, and then let them do their job. But I don't see how I would now be knocking at their school's door, trying to get in and get to the bottom of shit. If Miles came home talking about he done had some handcuffs or picking seeds out of cotton, come on, man. You know what? That might be my first arrest right
there. Damn. Yeah, at that point, you got to get that teacher out that school. You can't let them keep teaching. I mean, that's a slap on the wrist. It's going to just become suspend you. No. That's not going to work. Somebody got to get fired. Some lawsuits got to happen.
Yeah. Now, another thing, the mother who found out, her name was Precious Tross. She said he made a mockery out of slavery. She said, I don't have a problem with you teaching our kids about slavery and what our ancestors went through and how they had to pick cotton. She said, but the teachers back in the day told us that, but they didn't bring in cotton and make you pick cotton seeds out of cotton. So
where the fuck did he get cotton with seeds in it? This motherfucker got a fucking plantation in his backyard.
He got a plantation and shit.
I know, right? He got a damn cotton field in his backyard trying to do that. What's that movie? Where, I'm saying, in modern day, remember I told you Alice, they did modern day slavery, they cosplaying and shit. But yeah, he got some slaves in his damn backyard. But yeah, they said now the teachers union president, Adam Urbanski, he said if someone departs from what they should be doing, they should suffer the consequences, but due process has to be allowed first. So of course, they saying we just go, put them on administrative leave. They said that the teacher let the white children refuse to take part in the cotton picking while not letting kids of color opt out. So
he made it worse.
Yeah, he didn't make them be slave masters, and he let them opt out. But he made the ones who's black to be slaves in the whatever this lesson was. And so immediately Morris's daughter said, "I'm not doing that." And then he was like, "Do it, or it's for a good grade." The teacher told her to do it. It's for a good grade, because she said she didn't want to do it. And then on another occasion, the teacher brought in handcuffs and shackles, according to the students, and said that when her daughter balked at putting them on, the teacher threatened to send her to the principal's office or the school counselor if she didn't put the handcuffs on. Basically, the parents are calling for the teacher's firing and for his teaching license to be revoked. the principal said Kelly Nicastro told parents in a letter that school leaders take these allegations seriously. Of course, she said that, and the school board called them extremely troubling. In a district of, well, hey, I ain't gonna say it because that's what they always use. What Brother Three say, black and brown. Now this ain't happening to nobody brown. This is a black issue, but that's off code shit. That's their way of saying. So listen, this is what the article says. In a district of black and brown. So what did brown got to do with it? All you heard was black stuff. I'm sure he wasn't making no Mexican kids pick no damn cotton. So let's just call it what it is. In a district of black students, it is important to be sensitive to the historical framework on which our students are engaging in learning. Board president said. And it said the students are black. About half the School of the Arts students are black. So half of them. So we're not going to say black and brown. See, let me educate. The reason we're saying don't say black and brown, because anytime if you listen to Tariq or, say no, shout out to Brother Tariq. But when they use that narrative, black and brown, they kind of take away from black. So if I say black and brown or black and gay, or it takes away from the racism. You see what I'm saying? So basically, let's say if they say black and brown, right? And let's say the school board wants to give money or, fire to do, and they still want to give money, right? They could say, well, we gave money to the brown organization, the Hispanic organization. You know what I'm saying? So we did our part, so it dismisses the black part. So anytime you hear black and brown from the mainstream media, you have to question that, because as y'all heard me hear the article, I know neither one of y'all heard nothing about no brown students or nothing about no Latino students in this article. So I don't even know why they put black and brown in there. But I'm glad the parents got up. I'm glad the parents are pushing for the firing and the license. He do need his license revoked. Because think about it. He told a little girl that, if you don't put the handcuffs on, I'm gonna see the principal's office. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah. And she halfway conscious because she balked at his bullshit twice.
Right. Twice. This is not the first time he did this. I'm like, well, I don't know, man. Some of these teachers nowadays, man, like, whoa, man. What you think? See?
That's not a teacher. That's a bully. That's
right.
Bullying the kids.
Right.
And he's using his power as a teacher, threatening them and thinking they're going to be cowards. And like, I don't want to get in trouble. And they're like, I don't care.
Right.
I'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
And us as parents, like, protect your kids. Let them be able to tell you stuff like that. So it's like, okay, I got your back. You're not going to get in trouble with me because I don't care about what the school say. You ain't getting in trouble with me. I got your back. And in all cases, that was wrong. And I understand with the school district and all that, they have to deal with their union, so they have to go through their protocols. But yeah, he should still lose his license. And this is probably not the first time he did that. This is just probably the first time somebody said something.
Right.
So, what did you say? Over and under? You think they gonna take his shit?
I think they ain't got really no choice, man, because the parents push, and then, like I said, and then it really started with, let's shout out to the young lady, Mrs. Strauss's daughter, because, like you said, she had the two incidents. Like the first time, he tried to say, "Oh, if you don't do it, I'm gonna give you a good grade. You do it for." So he kind of basically leveraged her grades. Then he said, "Oh, I'm gonna see the principal's office," and then this time she was like, "No, I'm not putting on the damn handcuffs." So shout out to that young lady who was, and her parents and her, her parents for raising her, like you said, to be woke and know what's going on.
Yeah,
it's like, she could have just did it and then got scared and been like, you know what, I just do it and not tell my parents, or whatever like that. So, shout out to her parents for raising her right, and to look at the situation and be like, nah, right, I'm not doing this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like that. I do like the energy. Now,
before we move on, though, I just want you think about it. It's like, was he placed there to be a poison to that community? He goes to a school where most of the kids are black, and you come in there degrading them. Like, was this man placed there to do that?
Well, I mean, a lot of time people with like white supremacist talking points or logic will center themselves in like our areas and then act like, oh, I'm not racist. How can I be racist? I work at a damn near almost all black school. He was saying that. You know what I'm saying? How can I be racist? I work with black and Latino kids. How can I be racist? You know what I'm saying? So they do that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. The children are our future. So if I can influence your youth, even in the animal kingdom, what do? We always protect the animal, the cubs. So if I can influence I'm a snake. If I can slither my motherfucking ass up into where the eggs at and eat the eggs, you know what I'm saying, or influence, you know what I'm saying, or influence, your
Yeah,
children with my talking points and my ideology. They remember this one I'm doing. You're a slave. Pick that cotton. I can put that imprint that in your child's mind. And if you're not even debriefing your kids when they come home from these schools, asking them what they learned or what they learned about or whatever,
Right.
uh, then you know what I'm saying. I got them. So now your kid's sitting here thinking, you know what I'm saying, feeling bad about this because the little girl said he made me feel bad to be a black person. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you have to instill. You definitely have to, and there's nothing wrong with any race instilling pride in they, youth. I'm not saying, but I'm not. I wouldn't say take it far to be racist, but I'm saying definitely in our community, we need to, definitely instill some black pride in the children and have pride.
yeah. Tell them
That's
how to
why
move around and be black, and
exactly.
and,
That's
and,
why
and
I
how to
post.
act when something happened. X,
Hell
Y, Z
yeah.
happened, and do this. But hey, that kind of reminds me of a. Okay, so we had one semester, me and my little brother, where we went to elementary school in Indy, right? We
Mm-hmm.
went to public school 11, and I remember my little brother's teacher. I remember him telling me about it. Um, the teacher was just talking to the kids in class, and then they were talking about mixed kids, and she was calling them mongrels.
Mm.
Mm.
Ain't that a term for animals?
Yeah.
Damn,
God,
yeah,
really.
That's
damn.
like a mud, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, and those are like some more of the, like kind of white supremacist talking points. You hear them use words like that,
Yeah,
mongrels,
yeah,
call
I
us.
just remember that, and
Um,
our family was kind of fragmented at the time, so wasn't no way of you know, running it up the pole or nothing. But I remember that stood out to me. I forgot about it though
yeah,
till this topic come up though. Came
yeah,
up.
yeah. And that's why you got to teach the kids about a lot of the black youth about all the inventions. Like a lot of black kids don't know that we invented a doorknob and things that everyday things, most of everything, central air, everything that is used, a person in their house, pretty much a black person made it. If you want to look it up, if you can look it up, central air heating and cooling, black person. Uh, doorknob, black person. The light, black person. You know what I'm saying? I could keep refrigeration, black person. You know what I'm saying? So you could go down the line and the traffic light, black person. You know what I'm saying? So everything you could go down the line and find a black person behind it or has something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of kids don't know about this. They think, oh, y'all don't come from nothing. Y'all don't come from no cause y'all ain't made nothing. Y'all didn't build this. But then when you get down to the roots and actually do your history and look it up, you like, damn, we did that. Even from the internet search engine a brother made. You know what I'm saying? One of the first brothers to work
Oh,
on.
you talking about Hillary? Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's so we have quite the invention background. It's just not publicized. It's not publicized, and it's a reason. It's on purpose. You know what I'm saying? They want to suppress. They want to keep the narrative that hey, when you think of criminal, black person. When you think of disease, black person. They don't want you to think, man, light bulb, black person, man, success, black person. Wow, inventions. They don't want you to think like that because then when you unlock that, you know what I'm saying? Like the thing about to be in that supremacy is to have an advantage. So basically, what we call the white man's affirmative action is white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? So they want to have that. They want to have that advantage. And that's from Brothers Tariq too. That they want to have that advantage, you know what I'm saying? But when we excel, when you put it this way, when you put us both at a fair level ground, we're gonna rise to the top, man. You know what I'm saying? Nine times out of 10, we're gonna rise to the top, man. So we have to have, they gotta put unfair advantages on us and stuff, have these old, racist teachers teaching our kids and stuff like that. So, you just gotta as a parent, I'm glad those parents got together. I'm glad they, try to fight back and what I'm saying, get that dude the hell up out of there. He deserved to. But on speaking of school, on a better note, Morris Brown College is back, y'all.
What? No, hell no.
Morris Brown College has full accreditation. They are back. They have full accreditation. So Morris Brown is back after being gone for nearly almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
School leaders say Morris Brown is the only college in the country to regain accreditation after 2 decades without it. Check this out. Gathered on the steps of the historic campus, alumni, professors, students, community leaders, and families celebrated the return of Morris Brown College (MOBE). The Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools gave Morris Brown College the approval for full accreditation. And Morris Brown College President Dr. Kevin James exclaimed to the roaring applause from the audience. So they have full accreditation. They will be taking students, and they actually never closed their doors, but their enrollment basically was next to nothing because they didn't have no accreditation. But it was still people going to the school, because there was a brother said he graduated. I was watching a story, and a brother said he graduated in 2012, and without the accreditation, and he said he still did well in his career. He was still able to get jobs even though it wasn't accredited. They saw the college on his by the name. He said by the strength of the name, even though it wasn't accredited, he still was able to get jobs in his career further along. So now that it's accredited again, that even helps him out even more now. So shout out to Morris Brown College, man.
Salute.
Georgia. Salute. You know what I'm saying? Getting that cool. So what happened was a lot of people, probably want to know, okay, how did they lose it? They actually lost it because it was like a lot of financial mismanagement. It was previous, basically, they were fighting to keep their doors open because there was a lot of previous financial mismanagement that cost the school nearly everything, including its accreditation of students. The former president, Dr. Stanley Pritchard, honored Thursday for his efforts to provide the school. He sat down, with the reporters and talked to them, and he said, we never closed the doors of the college, and it made a difference. So it was good that they kept the doors open, even though it wasn't accredited. They still, was kind of accepting students in small numbers, very small numbers. I would say smaller than like a community college. It was really small, But shout out to them, man. So now the enrollment, they say, is getting up now because they got full accreditation. They seeing, students apply more online, recently because of that. So now I'm glad to see one of the staple HBCU Black institutions,
They fought the good fight there, boy.
Exactly. See them back on top. I see them, giving opportunities to brothers and sisters out there in Atlanta, Georgia. What do y'all think?
I want to give a shout out to the teachers, because most of them were working there as volunteers. Like, they weren't even getting paid. And that's remarkable.
Yeah, man. Salute, man. That's always good to see. I wish I had gone to an HBCU at least for a year, man.
It's a good experience.
I had a chance to, man. Oh, I could have marched to Jackson State. Oh, I blew it.
Ooh.
I'll be honest with you. For me, it's been the best experience in my life to go to an HBCU. It's no other than any other campuses that you can go to. It doesn't even compare. Completely different atmosphere. You can't even pay for that.
Definitely.
I went to a couple of minority engineering camps down in Purdue, but it wasn't nothing like what y'all be talking about.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? It really, I'm thankful to have that experience. I'm seriously thankful to have that experience, the people I met and got to kick it with, got to get to know. And then like a lot of the networking and bonding, you make friends for life in some cases, and the networking and bonding, and it's just nothing like it. So I think it's, if your child has the opportunity to go to any type of school, so I think, I don't say just totally dismiss HBCUs. I say look at them too, you know what I'm saying? If you have the opportunity to, even if you don't choose to, I ain't saying it's a bad thing or nothing like that. But if you have to, have the opportunity to, I would say, like you said, try it for a year. Try it maybe for say, hey man, we'll send you down there for a year and see how you like it. If not, you still have the opportunity to go to such and such.
Hey, that's pretty awesome, you know what I'm saying? Because Miles coming into high school, that's a whole nother lane he can look at for hoop, and getting some good exposure now. Because
especially in sports.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Hey Chris, you better tell him about with sports down in HBCUs, man. Like he can get a full ride, and like you know what I'm saying. Like I mean, look at Dion, what he got going on in J State.
Yeah,
and he's helping change the narrative and getting more people to actually look at HBCUs now.
Right, and he got another top recruit. Did y'all see that?
Yep.
He got another top recruiter, dude. He had a chance to go to what, LSU? He chose J State over LSU. He like LSU with some big colleges. He like a top receiver too. So I'm telling you, man, he is definitely changing the narrative, man.
And
You
these
know,
coaches know, like, once I get you to this campus and you get the vibe and you get to see how it is, it's a wrap.
I mean, and then you got to think about Deion's staff is damn near all people who played in the NFL. You getting the best of the best as far as who teaching you, who coaching you. You know what I'm saying? They know what it takes to be a pro on that level. You know, they're gonna, you know, so if you really want to get to that level, they can push you. And the connections he has, and like you said, the visibility he's bringing to the school. Plus, now, you know, the college cast can make money now. You know what I'm saying? They can make money now. So, because, you know, you could get deals and stuff. So now it ain't even about like, oh man, well, you know, if you come to LSU, we go, you know, we did it. You don't even need all that. You go to Jackson State and then get you a shoe deal because, you know, they can get the little deals now and you good. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, yeah, definitely it's a lane you should, Miles, should definitely look into finding that, you know, because it's a ton of them. It's a ton of them everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's a ton of them, you know. So, I mean, in some states, like even West Virginia, you know, it's HBCUs everywhere. So,
yeah.
It is definitely a good experience. But moving right along, we speaking of school, man. I'm unfortunately, like I say, back to protecting the kids, man. We definitely got to protect our kids. This young brother right here, man. I saw this story. I wasn't gonna do it, but then I said, man, you know what? This young brother here, basically, family doctors were unable to save a 9-year-old student's finger and had to perform an amputation after school. Officials failed to seek immediate medical attention for the boy. So this little 9-year-old boy had to have his finger amputated after falling in his classroom on Monday. The young boy tripped over his backpack in the classroom and got caught in the metal computer cabinet, which snapped his finger in the cabinet's door. After x-rays, the medical personnel couldn't operate anymore because the boy's finger needed to be amputated. It says, how do you send a child home with his finger cut off and just pass it on without calling 911 at the school, the boy's grandfather said. The 9-year-old boy from Missouri, DJ Williams, told his mother that he tripped over his backpack in the classroom and the school got caught, you know, metal cabinet. Unfortunately, snapped his boy's finger. The boy's mother claims the school officials called her and told her that her son had a gash on his hand. The boy's grandfather, Larry Pierce, picked the 9-year-old boy, said his fingers were wrapped with his hand and was bleeding. Grandfather then drove the boy to the hospital, to the emergency room. And then Larry Pierce said, so he said, how do you send a child home with his finger cut off and just pass it off without calling 911 at the school? So they didn't even call 911. After the x-rays, you know, they said basically they couldn't save the finger and they had to cut it off. So what do y'all think about that one? How would you feel you pick your son up, his hand wrapped up, bust up, bleeding, and you could take him to the hospital, and then the hospital talking about we can't even save his finger. They waited too long. You know what I'm saying? They waited too long. We can't save his finger. Now we got to cut it off.
That's 100% the school's fault, because even in my case, like, my kids can have a cold and they like, come get them, everything, come get them. So that's the school basically not really taking things serious with the students, especially something like that. Like that, man, that's horrible. Like, I can imagine the pain he was in.
Yeah, man, we gotta protect the kids, man. I hate to see that for that young brother. That's crazy, man. I mean, literally, that school, like I said, now we sending our kids, you know, black people, we sending our kids to these schools. You don't know if they, you know, we would like to think that, okay, they ain't racist, they at school, you know, our kids are safe, but we seeing incidents like this. Now, I don't know. I'm just saying. Now, people will be like, well, come on, it ain't racial. Now, I'm just saying, if it was a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed little boy, I don't know, he probably would have got that ambulance, you know what I'm saying? He would have been, you know what I'm saying? They might, you know, or you think they would have just sent him home too? I don't know. Or maybe, you know what? It could have been a school where it's just predominantly black kids. I don't know. Regardless of who was in charge, definitely, you know, if a kid have an accident like that at school, man, you got to call 911. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like,
negligence was involved for
I
sure.
mean, I don't care what school it is or who running it. I mean, and if y'all definitely just did that, like, just like, well, screw him. Let his parents deal with it. Like, because y'all didn't want to be
No,
liable.
man, but what they should have done is contact the parents to get permission to call 911 and then send them and have the parents meet them there. You know, in the perfect world, that's what should have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, somebody dropped the ball, whether they was afraid to do the wrong thing or just being negligent, like I said.
Now the sister said remember the school called her. The sister said the school called her, but she said they said that he just had a gash on his hand. So she think he was on the playground probably playing and scraped his hand.
Gas does not equal severed finger hanging on by skin in that motherfucker.
I'd be pissed off, man. Somebody had to get.
Hell yeah.
somebody had to pay. Somebody got to pay.
Once my child played piano or anything, it's all fucked up.
Somebody got to pay, man. My
important
kid
thing
go to
is
school and lose a finger.
You got to teach your kids to speak up for themselves. Like,
look, bitch.
Look, I'm in pain. Goddamn, my shit is fucking hanging off the bone and shit. I need help.
Right.
I mean, but what if he was sticking there? He was like, "Oh, it's okay. We'll just wrap it up. You're gonna go to school, nurse. Just go." I just been screaming. He would have been like, screaming something, man. Like I've been cutting up. I'd have kicked my desk. I'd have been like, "Y'all gonna call my mama up here." You know what I'm saying?
What do you want to do? Dip this shit in milk, motherfucker?
Like they would have had to call somebody up there, like they waited to the end of the day, and so then it's like you said. But think about it: if soon the grandfather said when he got in the car when he seen it bleed, he went to the emergency room immediately. So if it was that bad, like you know what I'm saying, like, and they said they couldn't, man. Yeah, at school they gotta get sued, man. Some people gotta get fired. We gotta get paid. My son ain't gonna go to school and lose a finger, and he ain't getting no money. He ain't getting no pain and suffering. You know what I'm saying? Hell no.
We get millions. We
get millions. We get millions. Yes. And after that, we're gonna homeschool him. Exactly. We're gonna hire somebody. We're gonna have him home. He's gonna be in front of the computer homeschooling and shit. Straight up. But yeah, man. That's crazy. I don't even know. That's one.
That's a freak ass accident, though. You just think about it, you trip over your bag and all that.
Right, shit. Man. Right, man. Now, one thing I was supposed to talk about, we're gonna end it on this one, man. I was supposed to talk about when I was talking about reparations, man. I forgot about it. Well, I didn't really forget about it. We didn't get to it yet, but I had to talk about. I'm gonna talk about this sister here, but it was an article this week written by this dude named Douglas Murray. He said, this is from the New York Post. He said, reparations aren't about justice. They're an act of revenge. He says, 10 years ago, the idea of reparations sat on the political fringes in America. He said, the question of whether or not compensation should once have been paid to former slaves had died out. He said, not at least by the start of the 21st century, no one in America had actually suffered from slavery. Ain't that about nothing? You hear what this dude just said? Nobody really suffered.
Say it again. I don't think I heard that correctly.
He said that the question of whether or not compensation should once have been paid to former slaves had died out. Not least because by the start of the 21st century, no one in America had actually suffered from slavery. The country was a century and a half away from the bloody Civil War it had fought over the issue. The Civil War wasn't fought over slavery. That's another misconception and lie. It wasn't over slavery.
No, it was not. It's always every war is fought over money.
Exactly. And we were the money. Yeah, we were the livestock. Yeah. Commodity. We were the commodity, So,
and it's about taxes as well. They wanted taxes.
Yeah. Now he says, I'm gonna take a part of his this is his opinion section. He said, and a lot of people have been commenting on this online and whatnot. Now he says, check this out. Listen to us what he says. It certainly is true that there are disparities of wealth between Black and white Americans, but there are disparities between Black and white Americans and Asian Americans as well. In America, in the 2020s, Asian Americans significantly outperform every other racial group in their earnings. They earn more on average than white Americans, who in turn earn more than Hispanic Americans, who in turn earn more than black Americans. All the talk of reparations must confront that statistic. Dude.
That has nothing to
if
do
the,
with it.
right. If the cause of black economic underperformance in America in the 2020s is systemic racism, why do other groups outperform them? Why do groups see he's doing that these other groups do better than you. They do better than you, so why can't you do better? So why do groups of others have arrived more recently outperform them? Because we all know that the dominant society look at Asians as honorary white supremacists or support group, and white Hispanics as that too. They look at them as white. And two, furthermore, we've been here longer. We had laws set up to keep our people down, and when we had wealth, it was either blown up by the government. They firebombed Tulsa. We all know that. That's no hidden fact. They firebombed it, the U.S. government. They went and killed everybody, took the businesses. And so anytime black Americans got to a point where we had significant amount of wealth, it was always taken from us, or they set up a law. Basically, the goalpost was moved. Oh, damn, y'all over here thriving. We thought these niggas was gonna sit up there and be in filth and
live hand to mouth and shit.
Exactly. We want that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you made this invention? I like this invention. Too bad I'm gonna steal it, because now I can patent it in your ass kid because you're a black male. There's a law set up. You can't do nothing. So see what I'm saying? So don't give me that why the other groups come in and do better, because the reason they come in and do better because they get benefits when they get over here. There are benefits the immigrants get when they get over here. And it's not even just today. I'm talking about in the old days too. So when white Europeans were coming from other parts of of Europe, like Ireland, all that, they were given land allotments. The Homestead Act, remember that? The Homestead Act, where they gave land allotments that we should have got. Our 40 acres of mule, they got it. There was right.
But what did they come down here with? Come on, do it. $2.
Oh, my grandfather came down here with 10 cents, nothing in his pocket.
He had $1.50 in his pocket.
$1.50 in his pocket, and he made it. Why can't you guys make it? Because obviously, even though even though your grandfather, whatever he is, came down here, they're set aside. They have immigrants set aside, and the immigrant laws set up. Also, if you look white, even though a whiteness could be a million things. You could be a Frenchman, but you know what I'm saying. You could be Norwegian. You can be, and we're seeing that right now with the Ukrainian. Look, Ukrainians, they 30 getting 60. Then they got 65 billion, and they ain't even Americans. And look, think about that. When they got their 65 bill, nobody had to do a study on reparations for them. Nobody had to do a study to see if they should get the 65 billion. Nobody had to go, we got to think about it. We got to do a study and see how y'all was agreed. No, they boom, approved. Send them 65 billion. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at all the laws, the redlining laws, the Jim Crow laws, we had our great grandfathers fought in all the wars in this country and never got no GI Bill till recently. You know what I'm saying? Never, like, they fought in World War I and came back. They looked, all the white dudes came back. Yeah, we get land. Hell yeah, we get land. We getting all for our service for the company. The black soldiers didn't get what? They didn't get nothing. They were told that if you live in this household, your girl can't get welfare. So there's the dismantlement of our, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. People act like that's not a big deal, but that's a big deal. If you own certain properties back then and all the way to now, your family could definitely have wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like a piece of land, let's say your great grandfather got like a piece of land right now that Walmart is sitting on and you owned it. And Walmart came to you and said, hey, can we buy that land for you for $50 million? And you like, shit, hell yeah. Think about how that, you know what I'm saying?
Even in loss of wages from promotions or jobs that you were qualified for that you didn't get would do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's just, and it's not a, and I don't think it's a revenge tactic. Like the dude Arthur was saying that this white dude was saying, it's an act of revenge. It's not about revenge. It's just what's old, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody in this country, if they work if they work their ass off for like, I mean, any person, I don't give them care what race. Put somebody to work for 2 weeks and then don't pay them and see what happens. See, about tell them that you ain't got
that. You'll see January 6th all over again.
Exactly. Tell them that they ain't put this way, go to Iowa, get any warehouse plant in Iowa with a bunch of white dudes working there. Have them white dudes work 80 hours a week and then tell them you ain't paying them. See what happens.
Billy
Billy Cyrus and them go blow that damn. They like, no, that damn it, I'll work. Give me my damn. You know what I'm saying? So that, man, come on, man. That's old, man. Don't know about nothing is free, man. That labor ain't free. That ain't nothing we just need to forget about. Because from our they say never forget the Holocaust, but then when you bring up slavery, they say, oh, y'all should just forget it. You can't do that, man. All the atrocities, the word and the messed up part about even the word, the MFer comes from slavery, because they would put a brown paper bag over your head and you didn't know if he was actually fucking your mother or not. They would put you in there, and I know that's fucked up to think about. Brown paper bag on your hair, get in there and breathe. You see what I'm saying? So, dude, man, I mean, it's just what's owed to us. It ain't a revenge against nobody. It's just what's owed to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no handout. It ain't no handout. It's just what's owed. I mean, if my grandfather, great-great-grandfather owned 100 acres back then, and then the racist Ku Klux Klan came in and ran him off his land and took his land over, I'm old for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's unlawful. But at the time, they could do it because it was lawful. You know what I'm saying? I could come and take over your land and there wasn't nothing you could do about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do? So,
yeah.
I mean, and then, like I said, it wasn't even just Tulsa. Remember the Red Summer is like, what is it, 7 different cities that had that incident. So now the reason this sister here is important, let me go back to my thing. The University of Georgia experts estimate Black residents who were displaced to make room for dormitories. Listen to this. Black residents who were displaced to make room for dormitories should get $5 million in reparations. Black residents who were pushed out of their Georgia homes in the 1960s for student housing are entitled to upwards of $5 million, a new report shows. According to a University of Georgia economic analysis published last year, the former residents of Lennon Town took a financial hit when they were displaced in the 1960s and were compensated next to nothing for their homes. The estimate, however, doesn't account for education or job loss or emotional trauma that the residents had to face when they were forced to relocate. I think it's important to note at the outset that our research is not meant to cover all the forms of loss. This is from a University of Georgia professor, Jerry Shannon. Lennon Town was a close-knit, self-sustaining Black community before the University of Georgia and the city of Athens used eminent domain to destroy the homes and replace them with 2 high-rise dorms and a parking deck decades ago. I ain't going to even keep going. Now, what do you guys think of that so far?
Yeah, that seems like this.
They might get that shit.
Yeah.
And that's what we talk. This happened all over the country, man. Eminent domain.
Yep.
From the cities that got flooded.
Yeah, we're building the interstate here. School, anything, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
School housing and shit.
Yep. And that's what remember that new thing with that one city in Tennessee that we were covering before, that they were trying to do that to them. They were saying that, I don't think, because they want to get that land because they trying to put something there and they want them out of there because they want that land. It's like, and that's crazy. Now check this out. So the University of Georgia basically told these people to move out because they wanted to put 2 high-rise dorms in. This is back in the 1960s. And they paid them little to nothing for their houses. Like literally hardly nothing, anything, pennies from what they actually should have got. It says former resident Bobby Crook said his house was equipped with a chicken coop, hog pen, and a smokehouse, and had a fish pond in the backyard. Boy, they was eating good. Boy. Hey, they was eating good. He had the pig, the hog, the chicken, the smokehouse, the fish pond. Hey, what your boy say on Martin? The catfish were delicious. Remember the one with your boy Tommy Davis who was on there? The catfish are delicious. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Crook had listen what Bobby Crook said. He said that everyone would help and look out for each other and help each other along from electrical work to plumbing to sewing. So they were self-sustained. They'd trade goods, vegetables, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. So you'll go down the road, go to Bobby Cookhouse and get some pork, or go down his road and get some fish, and he'll come up this road and get some corn and some okra, whatever like that. You know how they did it back in the old school days. And then so basically athletes use eminent domain, which allows government to seize private property in cases where homeowners receive monetary compensation to take over the properties in the neighborhood when Cook was 11 years old. It is now UGA's Brumbley Hall. So he said everybody was crying in an uproar. The university is taking our house. We got to move. He said the full total of the economic and psychological damages may never be assessed. But it said researchers compare how much the homeowners received in the 60s to the fair market value of the homes today. And they also compared the compensation for the Lennoxtown homes and home values in neighboring white communities and how much moving to areas with lower rates of appreciation impacted the former residents. It says Geneva Johnson, that's the lady in the picture, she said her family received $20,000 in today's money for their house and lot. Damn. That ain't nothing.
That's nothing.
No.
So they received what would have been equivalent to $20,000 in today's money. So they said they paid the families hundreds of thousands less than what the properties are worth today and charged them about $144 a month in today's money if they stayed beyond the move-in deadline.
Damn.
I mean, they just draw a line on the map, and everybody on this side of that line, they got to make sure.
Instead of just paying them all properly.
Yeah. So these people are owed $5 million. These families are owed at least $5 million. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's crazy because we went to school with the person who actually majority of the property of Grambling was built on. Right. I don't know if you remember Cody and his family. Yeah. Generations of his family actually were straight. They would live good, and the whole family was because they were paid properly.
Damn, yeah.
So it is the economical impact of just having that land is a big deal.
It is. Like I said, lost opportunities. Because they had to move to a lower income area. You know what I'm saying? And they got paid little to nothing. They just moved and bust them out. And if you stayed, your family was one of the ones that said, no, we ain't selling, we ain't moving. They charge you $144 a day back then. So that was a lot of money back then, $144 in the 60s. A day.
Having property was everything back then. Like that's generational wealth.
A day. That's why to our white counterparts, that's why it's important to us, because a lot of the wealth that you received and passed down, and y'all probably think nothing of it, like, oh, it's not really nothing. It is really something. That grandpa's house you got, your mom got. It is a big deal, that house you got and that land that passed down from generations to great. It is a big deal because, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there was a lot stolen, man. So, I mean, like you said, when they did pay him out, they paid him little to nothing. So, $20,000 in today's money, I don't know what that would be back then. I'm thinking maybe a couple thousand, maybe something like that, or maybe if 5,000, if that. You know what I'm saying?
10% is probably a good one. Well, shit, back then, that shit was like $2,000 in like 75. So that shit was like crumbs back then.
Right. So, I was just trying to show another example, guys, of how we definitely need, reparations for our people, because economically it does impact it. That's why the whole, why can't you pull yourself up by the book? If our ancestors were able to take advantage of those opportunities, right? Don't tell them what we would have, or what we could pass down to our kids. So we got to push for that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And if you. And you definitely should support us. Also support us by hitting that like and subscribe button.
Hit the buttons, fam. Let's go.
Definitely hit that like and subscribe button. We cooking today, y'all. But yeah, man, I really thought that was something we needed to cover. And then and on the last story here, I actually skipped it here. Our last story. We out of here, y'all.
Oh,
Newport.
it is.
Newport cigarettes. Everybody familiar with the little advertisements and things growing up with the Newport cigarettes? Basically, how the tobacco industry targeted Black Americans with menthol smokes. As you know, there's going to be a ban from the Food and Drug Administration proposed a ban on menthol cigarettes. And that noted that the move could save lives of 92,000 to 238,000 Black American or African American people. It says it's been a long time coming. So, you know, they all remember these ads where they had the two people, the couple smoking with the cigarettes, and then in the Ebony magazines, y'all grew with the Jet magazines and Ebony magazines. You remember these new, and then we got the one with Dizzy Gillespie on it.
You this.
Newports have been part of the Black community like sidewalks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sadly enough, they've been pushing that on our people, and you know what I'm saying, for years and decades. So cools too, you see a lot of those advertisements. So now the government
out on my carpet.
Yeah. Who? Who's on my carpet? Hell yeah.
You say who put the cool out on my poison?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? A lot. So now, with them trying to ban a lot of now that's crazy. Now a lot of the Black smokers are mad they trying to ban them. It says it's then the industry began to pivot aggressively towards targeting Black communities. In 1964, federal regulators barred tobacco companies from advertising to their key youth demographic. So then they started to target towards Black, consumers. A lot of the Black periodicals like Ebony, Jet, started seeing, like you said, we was talking about those ads. And then the company sponsored events like the Cool Jazz Festival and included Dizzy Gillespie. They had festivals. It said 85% of Black smokers prefer menthol cigarettes. So now they're getting rid of the menthol. Some of the Black smokers say that's racist. They trying to get rid of our stuff. And then there's Black smokers who says, you know what, I'm glad they get rid of it. Maybe they help me stop smoking. You know what I'm saying? Because that menthol is woof. So what do y'all think about? What do y'all think about them getting that move? Now they're gonna be banning now. Also, this extends to flavored cigars. So you might not be able to get no more grape Swisher Sweets and all that kind of stuff no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, Black and Miles, them flavored Black and Miles. I know y'all like the wine flavored Black and Miles, the wood tips and all that stuff. Nah, all that shit about to be gone, man.
Like Virginia tobacco, goddamn.
Yeah. So what do y'all think about that? What do you think? I think it's a good move. Me personally, I think it's a good move to help people live longer. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mind because for a long time I was a horn player, and I started out smoking Newports, but then one day I decided to switch to non-menthol, and it really opened shit up for me lung wise. So all them old tapes with Miles, them playing, having a cigarette wedged in their horn and shit, all them joints was non-menthol because it's easier to do your thing without that menthol. That menthol causes crystallization in your lungs. So I'm with it. Even the vape flavors, that menthol flavor in there, crystallizes in your lungs, So I'm with it. I'm not against it at all. I mean, some of my homies and some of my family still smoke Newports, but I graduated over 10 years ago.
Yeah. Now, so I do vape, but I actually don't do menthol vape. I'm a non-menthol. I've been on vape for a long time. I haven't smoked real cigarettes in a long time. I gave it up with the vape. Now I do the vape, and like I said, I don't do a menthol one. I do a whiskey flavored one.
Bourbon here.
I like the bourbon. It suits me. It's not menthol. It's good for me. But if they get rid of it, then if they say they can't have the flavor no more, then I have to deal with it to get something else. But or quit. Like I said, I think it's a good thing. But what you think? See, you think with the history of the Newport being in black, you go into your grandmama house or somebody's house and you see that Jet magazine with that Newport ad on the back of it. You know what I'm saying? The girl laid up like the guy here with the cigarettes. Do you think that's good? What do you think about that?
The marketing of is a trap right there. Off point, like you look at him, he up there cool as hell with his cigarette.
Intimate moment, black excellence and shit.
that shit didn't grab generations of people, man. It is what it is. I know that menthol though, when you smoke those cigarettes, it's a whole nother level of smoking. So it's harder to quit as well.
So, yeah. And Tupac was talking about, give me Newport, give me Newport, what a Newport. Oh, sorry.
You got to change that line, just smoking them cool filter kings, made them look cool.
Now, I'm gonna throw another angle at y'all in this article here. Now, the FDA had banned flavored cigarettes from being manufactured or sold in 2009, but menthol cigarettes slipped by because of a split in the Black Congressional Caucus. The old niggas. Many of whom look to campaign donations and support. So that's why we say, that's why really, in our movement, in our younger movement, we don't mess with the Congressional Black Caucus because they are a bunch of old ass black people who got so basically they wanted the support and the donations that came with it. They said, fuck the people, we want the donations and that's why actually nothing happens for us with them because they everybody know they don't do nothing. Jim Clyburn and all them old Maxine Waters and them old niggas don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real.
Hey, leave Maxine alone, man.
Yeah,
just like everybody in LA know, Auntie Maxine ain't about to write. Auntie Maxine okay, but yeah, she don't do.
I ain't about to talk about her. She ain't about to kick my ass when I said she gonna roll up on me.
Yeah.
but
you know what I'm saying. But let's they not because let's put it like this. If they were actually doing something, the reparations movement would have been pushed a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? And this, the reparations movement, it's only got legs because of the grassroots. You know what I'm saying? And that's people in our generation who are younger, who not caught up in donations and getting paid under the table and all that kind of stuff. You really want what's for the people. But yeah, so many of them looked to campaign donations and support. So basically, they could have banned this a long time ago, but they didn't. Yesterday's move by the FDA was encouraged by the NAACP, which sent out a statement. They're saying that, noting that tobacco industry egregious in marketing practices, including giving out free cigarettes. This pattern of activity continues today with expanding marketing strategies like supporting and providing sponsorship, funding for events, supporting various Black leaders with financial support, discounting menthol products in Black neighborhoods, and abundant advertising in stores frequented in Black communities. Because when you go into Black community, you see Newport ads every damn where when you go in them stores. Your kids see them and everything. I mean, it's plastered. You know what I'm saying? To the point where, remember, even dudes was even getting the box Chevys and turning them into Newport box and shit. You know what I'm saying? The Newport box Chevy. Everybody remember them. You know what I'm saying? See, you remember them, ain't you?
Yeah. That is crazy. So, how much are cigarettes now anyway?
I had no idea, but
I smoke generic non-menthols, and it's the lower shelf version of the Newport. They're like less than $5.50. But Newport, you paying $7.50 a packet for them, Wayne. Easy. Click them, fam.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I know in Chicago they like $20. I want to say like $20 a box.
Damn,
or
are you serious?
I want to say maybe like 16 or 15 a box.
Damn.
Yeah,
some
no
cigarettes.
Doubt. Yeah, you come to Detroit recently. I think they were approaching 10.
That's why people from Illinois go to Indiana to get the cigarettes and whatnot.
That is crazy. So you think how much money you could be saving?
Oh yeah, this is gonna really hurt the cigarette game because a lot of the brothers and they ain't gonna go with the non-menthol. They ain't no more brothers for them.
Right, because Newports do got the non-menthol Newports, the red box, but
and the gold box. Oh
right, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna go with that. I don't know if the brothers gonna go with that.
Hey, them motherfuckers got some personality, man. They not bad.
And then you know what? Quiet as kept. You know they are smoked menthol cigarette. I mean, we smoked the hell out of them, but other communities do smoke them too. So I seen that where I'm at. Like, damn, they buying Newports too. Yeah, they be buying Newports. But man, that's crazy. I'm glad. Hopefully, you know, I think it's a good move, man. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good move. Damn. I think it's a good move. Hey, look, Wizard of Oz.
He
It's
passed
Wizard of
out.
Oz. He ran behind the curtain. He's revealed. The dog pulled the curtain back.
We'll be right
Dog
back.
pulled the curtain back. You know, it's all good because we almost at the end here. You know what? I said, look, we was on our last story. I do have one more that I want to laugh at. We're gonna end it on a high note. Be out of here, man. Because the Wizard got pulled back. It ain't that bad, man.
Behind the screen.
I gotta go back to y'all favorite company, Apple. I forgot about this. Apple. This is Apple, man. Check this out. It's gonna be funny. You gonna love this, man. Even with Apple, yeah. The dog pulled the curtain back. He's back to the Wizards back there, like, oh shit. But Apple, man, check this out. There was a study done according to Consumer Reports based on surveys. A male-sounding Siri voice characterized as a black person rated less competent and less professional, a survey finds. It said Apple released 2 voices that users were more likely to say sounded black compared to the original voices. Consumer Reports also found that users from BIPOC community, I don't know what that means, were more welcoming to the voice option than aligned more than their ethnicity. Nevertheless, with this type of diversity and representation in audible sound, some people's biases are not as open. It said that it was a linguist. Basically, this lady was a professor. She said that based on 4 available voice options for Siri, the categories were based on character traits: funniness, professionalism, competence, and friendliness. After the survey, she discovered users' reactions to the voice option directly reflected gender and racial stereotypes that were held to be true. For example, the voice that the users believed sounded most like a black man was rated funniest, but also perceived as the less professional and less competent sounding voice. The voice gets the same negative stereotypes we assign to black men, Holiday says. Nicole Holiday, she's a PhD, assistant professor of linguistics at the University of Pennsylvania. She conducted the survey on 480 English students. And she said that, so basically, you know, that they, you know, pretty much think of a negative. When they hear a black dude's voice, they think negative, just like in society, she's saying. Whenever you hear a voice and you don't see a body attached to it, you imagine one. Our ability to classify voices like this is part of our language faculty. And it said, so basically when the students heard the black voice, they just felt it was, they thought it was the funniest and the least professional and least competent. What do y'all think about that?
I heard the voice, and that don't really, to me, the voice don't even sound black to me. That's just my opinion. It don't sound like no brother talking. So it sound like brother light. Like, it
Brother light.
It don't really. I don't know, man. It don't sound any different to me. That's just a negative opinion.
Yeah. And now, Holiday, she said, this suggests there is no practicality in disassociating the gender or race from a digital voice. Intentional or not, people automatically try to assign an identity to what they hear. So she's saying, in society, the voice gets the same negative stereotypes we assign to black men in society. Oh, wow, that was deep. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't hear the voice, so you said it didn't sound like a black dude even.
No, it don't. It don't. It sounded like a black dude code switching. It said just like, hey, turn left up here, turn right. It sounds like a code switching ass black dude at work.
Keith Heading told me that joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn left.
That's what
I love Alfonso Ribeiro.
I mean, they trying to make it sound like, hey, bro, 2 lights, hit that left. It don't sound nothing like that.
Yeah, Masters left right quick.
Yeah. You know, Yeah, man. That I thought that was a funny story, man. That they thought. So yeah, she polled 480 English students. They just said they did think the voice was the funniest, but they did thought it was the least professional. Did you think the voice was unprofessional? See,
Nah. I mean, like I said, it just sound like let's hit them corners. Yeah, it sounded like a code switching black dude.
hell
And the
no.
thing about it, how they label it, it doesn't even say the color. It just says voice 1, voice 2, voice 3, voice 4, and just going along those lines. And so you're in your head, you're assuming that this is what a black guy sound like. This is the black voice.
Mm. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I just want them. I hope they do some different voices on stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because remember when what was it? Remember back in the day? This gonna be old. A lot of y'all probably might be. Remember when like the Garmins came out and you could get the different voices like Mr. T on that. Turn it, turn right, ooh.
I think they had that on Waves. You can have different things on Waves. Like you can have dogs on there. Samuel Jackson.
Damn.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, no, go ahead, my man.
Oh, I was gonna say, man, I remember I be playing on Xbox Live, and then I be playing in some lobby with some British dudes, and they be asking me how come I didn't sound like 50 Cent and shit.
Yeah. I mean, he probably ain't lying because I've heard they talk. When I used to work for this one company, it was a British company, and they would always ask about Chief Keef. They were like, I swear, they literally would always ask, like, you're in Chicago. They would be so enthralled with like drill rap music for some reason. They'd be asking me, do I know Chief Keef or do I? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, I don't know him. I just work here, dude. What are you talking about?
Are you from All Black? Are you from All Black?
He said, I'm gonna come down there and see where he lives. I said, man, no, you don't want to do that. Don't do that. Just come down here, just visit, stay on the beaten path, man. You don't need to go to keep neighborhood.
You will not be making it home.
Yeah, man. But yeah, they used to be like, damn, you talk, like, wow, I want to come down there. It's so interesting. But yeah, man. Hell yeah. It's real, brutal, but it's real. But anything y'all want to add, man, before we get up out of here?
Hey, don't mind me because my back drop fell. That's gonna be so funny.
Oh, that's gonna be a classic. Don't worry.
Hell no. Hell yeah. That is funny.
No, it was so funny because we was talking about cigarettes. I was talking about how I switched to non-menthol. Then I had a coughing fit. I was like, oh, that's perfect. So I slid off. I muted my mic, and then the fucking shit came down.
Yeah, they're gonna be in the comments on it. Remember, don't forget, do not forget to like and subscribe and hit us up at the email just below at the Weekend High Podcast at gmail.com and at the Weekend High Podcast on Instagram. We will be actually putting the show on Spotify soon. We just got approval.
Okay.
And it's in Spotify and iTunes. So I'm trying to work it on that right now. You'll be able to get us while you at work, just hear the audio version of this. But other than that, man, we're gonna wish y'all the best. We're gonna see y'all soon, man. This your boy KZ, your man. Big Swag, Uncle Chewbacca, and CT. We out, man. Out.
All right, y'all. Y'all take care.